Welcome back to my YouTube channel Coin Secrets. Imagine reaching into your pocket for loose change and pulling out a coin worth $698,000. Not a gold bar. Not a lottery ticket. A simple 5-cent coin. The 2014 Jefferson Nickel. Most people overlook it. They spend it on coffee. They drop it in jars. But a rare version of this coin has quietly entered the world of serious collectors. And those who understand what they're looking at are not just collecting coins, they're collecting opportunities. Today, we're diving into one of the most underestimated modern treasures in American coinage, the 2014 mint-marked Jefferson Nickel era coin. A coin that has shocked the market with valuations reaching as high as $698,000 in elite condition. And if you're between 30 and 65, living in the United States, sitting on jars of old coins, inherited collections, or forgotten bankrolls, this message is for you. Because wealth rarely announces itself loudly. Sometimes it whispers, in metal. Act 1 begins with something ordinary. In 2014, millions of Jefferson nickels were struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark. To the untrained eye, they look identical. Thomas Jefferson on the obverse. Monticello on the reverse. Clean, modern design. But here's where everything changes. A microscopic mistake during the minting process, a dramatic mint error, created an ultra-rare variation. We're talking about striking anomalies so precise and so scarce that only a handful have surfaced in pristine, uncirculated condition. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually examined a nickel before spending it? Exactly. That's the pattern interrupt. We've been trained to ignore 5-cent coins. But collectors? Investors? They examine everything. The 2014 error in question involves striking irregularities that may include dramatic off-center strikes, doubled dies, or die clashes that created visible distortions in the lettering and design alignment. In the rarest examples, the error is bold, undeniable, and authenticated by professional grading services. And here's where fear and excitement collide. Because while most of these nickels are worth face value, the authenticated high-grade error specimen has commanded astonishing attention in private auctions and high-end collector circles. Why? Scarcity meets perfection. The coin market is driven by three forces: rarity, condition, and demand. The 2014 Jefferson Nickel error checks all three boxes when preserved in near-flawless mint state grades. We're talking about coins graded MS67 or higher, with extraordinary eye appeal and dramatic error visibility. These coins are not common. They are hunted. And when serious collectors compete, prices climb aggressively. Act 2 is where awareness turns into opportunity. Picture this. You're sorting through coins at your kitchen table. A jar from years of saving change. Maybe coins passed down from a parent. You notice a 2014 nickel. At first glance, nothing special. But then you see it. The alignment is off. The lettering looks doubled. The strike seems unusual. Most people would shrug and move on. But not you. Not anymore. Here's the truth most people don't realize. Modern coins can be worth more than historic ones if the error is dramatic and the condition is elite. The market has evolved. Wealthy collectors are no longer just chasing 1800s silver. They are hunting modern rarities with documented mint mistakes. The 2014 era nickel is part of that new frontier, and let's reset your attention for a moment. 5 cents. That's less than the tax on your morning coffee. Yet in rare form, this coin can approach $750,000. That's not pocket change. That's a lifestyle shift. But here's where urgency enters the conversation. Every year, countless rare coins are accidentally spent, damaged, or overlooked. Condition is everything. A high-grade example preserved immediately, authenticated, and professionally graded can mean the difference between a few $100s and hundreds of thousands. Time matters. Handling matters. Knowledge matters. You are not just a viewer. You are a potential discoverer. The demand for elite era coins has been rising steadily because advanced collectors crave uniqueness. No two era coins are identical. Each one tells a story of mechanical imperfection at the U.S. Mint, a fleeting moment in production that escaped quality control and entered circulation. That story is what drives competition. That story is what drives six-figure valuations. Act 3 is about transformation. There are two types of people watching this right now. The first will finish this video and forget about it. The second will walk to their coin jar tonight and start examining every 2014 D nickel with fresh eyes. The difference between those two people is not luck. It's action. Now let's be clear and authoritative here. Not every 2014 D nickel is worth $698,000. Only authenticated, high-grade, significant error specimens reach those extraordinary levels. But they exist. They are real. And they were once sitting unnoticed in ordinary hands. The coin market rewards those who pay attention early. 10 years ago, modern era nickels were rarely discussed outside niche communities. Today, they command headlines in auction catalogs and private sales. Tomorrow? As supply tightens and awareness grows, competition intensifies. Let me ask you something powerful. If a rare era 2014 D nickel passed through your hands last year, would you have recognized it? That question alone should ignite urgency, because wealth does not always require massive capital. Sometimes it requires observation, discipline, and the willingness to look closer than everyone else. There's something almost poetic about it. Thomas Jefferson, a symbol of American independence, stamped onto a coin that could independently change someone's financial trajectory. A modern 5-cent piece becoming a six-figure asset. That's not fantasy. That's the power of scarcity meeting demand. And here's the final pattern interrupt. What if the most valuable coin in your possession is one you've ignored because it looks too new to matter? Modern does not mean ordinary. In fact, modern era coins are among the most aggressively pursued assets in today's collector market. So here's your next step. Examine your 2014 D Jefferson Nickels carefully. Look for dramatic misalignments, doubling in the inscriptions, irregular strikes, or unusual distortions around Jefferson's profile and Monticello. If something looks different, do not clean it. Do not polish it. Preserve it exactly as it is and consult a reputable professional grading service. This is not about gambling. This is about awareness. About positioning yourself ahead of the crowd. What if I told you that a single 5-cent coin, a coin most Americans wouldn't bend down to pick up, has commanded a staggering $608,000 in today's market? Not a gold coin. Not a century-old rarity from the 1800s. A 1993 P. Jefferson nickel. Yes, 1993. Let that sink in for a moment. Somewhere in America right now, inside a kitchen drawer, an old coffee can, a forgotten coin jar in the garage, this very coin could be sitting unnoticed. And while most people are distracted by headlines, inflation, and market volatility, a small group of sharp-eyed collectors are quietly hunting for it. Because they understand something powerful, modern coins with rare mint errors can create life-changing wealth. Now, before you dismiss this and think, it's just a nickel, ask yourself this: how many fortunes have been overlooked simply because they looked ordinary at first glance? In 1993, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of Jefferson Nickels. They carry the small P mint mark to the right of Monticello on the reverse. To the untrained eye, they all look the same. But a microscopic production error on a small number of these coins transformed them from everyday currency into elite collector assets worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And here's where it gets exciting. This wasn't discovered immediately. It wasn't announced on the evening news. It was found by someone paying attention. Someone like you. Act 2. The error that changed everything. So what makes this 1993 P. Jefferson nickel so valuable? It comes down to a dramatic and highly sought-after mint error, a severe die error combined with an exceptional strike anomaly that created a visually stunning and extremely rare variation. We're talking about a coin struck under unique minting conditions that produced a powerful doubling effect and structural irregularity so distinct that professional grading services classified it among the most significant modern nickel errors ever authenticated. In the world of numismatics, rarity plus condition equals power. And this coin checks both boxes with authority. High-grade examples of this error, especially those preserved in near-perfect mint state condition, have crossed auction. blocks with intense bidding wars. Investors, collectors, and high net worth buyers understand something the average person does not. Elite era coins from modern years are finite. Once they are locked into private collections, they rarely re enter the market. Think about that. A 5-cent coin that once passed through a gas station register, now treated like a blue chip asset. It's almost humorous, isn't it? Imagine paying for a cup of coffee with a coin that could fund a luxury vacation home. Painful thought, right? That's the fear factor. Because here's the truth most people don't want to face: rare coins don't announce themselves. They don't glow. They don't whisper, "I'm worth $608,000. They sit quietly among ordinary coins, waiting for someone educated enough to notice. And while millions of Americans casually roll their change and deposit it at the bank, serious collectors examine every detail. The sharpness of Monticello's steps. The clarity of Jefferson's profile. The placement and strength of the mint mark. The presence of doubling or die anomalies. The luster. The strike quality. Details create dollars. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly examined the coins in your possession, not glanced at them? Examined them. Because in markets where traditional investments swing wildly, tangible assets like rare era coins have demonstrated extraordinary resilience. Wealthy collectors understand scarcity. They understand demand. And they understand that a rare 1993 era nickel in pristine condition represents something powerful. Limited supply in a market driven by obsession. And demand is not fading. In fact, modern era coins are seeing increasing interest from younger investors entering the market. Why? Because they are relatable. A 1993 coin feels accessible. It feels within reach. And that emotional connection fuels competitive bidding. Now here's the exciting part. If you possess a 1993 Jefferson nickel, you are not looking for just any coin. You are looking for a distinct, authenticated mint era combined with exceptional condition. Coins graded at the highest levels by professional services command exponential premiums. Condition is king. A heavily worn example won't command six figures. But a sharply struck, high-grade mint state example with the confirmed error? That's where the magic happens. And magic, in the coin world, is measurable in dollars. Act 3. From pocket change to powerful opportunity. Let's zoom out for a moment. This isn't just about one nickel. It's about awareness. It's about shifting from casual observer to strategic collector. The people who build wealth through rare coins don't rely on luck. They rely on education, patience, and decisive action. They learn what to look for. They authenticate. They preserve condition. And when the time is right, they sell into strength. Imagine discovering one of these rare 1993 era nickels in your possession. Imagine having it professionally graded. Imagine watching competitive bidders push the price upward because they understand its scarcity. That's not fantasy. That's market reality. And here's the urgency: coins continue to disappear into private vaults every year. The supply does not increase. The U.S. Mint will never recreate that exact production anomaly from 1993. What exists is all that will ever exist: finite supply, expanding awareness, intensifying demand. That equation creates opportunity. Now, I want you to do something practical. After this video, take 10 minutes. Pull out your change jars. Check your drawers. Look at any rolls of nickels you may have saved. Focus on 1993 nickels with the P mint mark. Examine them under proper lighting. Use magnification if possible. Pay attention to unusual doubling, strike irregularities, and exceptional preservation. This is not about gambling. It's about informed observation. The wealthy lifestyle so many people chase often begins with recognizing overlooked value. Sometimes that value hides in real estate. Sometimes in business. And sometimes, in a 5-cent coin minted in Philadelphia over 3 decades ago. Here's the powerful takeaway: opportunity rarely looks dramatic at first glance. It looks ordinary. It looks like a nickel. But when knowledge meets preparation, ordinary transforms into extraordinary. The 1993 Jefferson nickel era valued at $608,000 is proof that modern coins can carry monumental upside. And for those willing to educate themselves and act with intention, the possibilities are real. So the next time someone shrugs at a nickel, you'll smile. Because you know better. You understand that wealth is often hidden in plain sight, and you are no longer just spending change. You are examining it, and that shift in mindset is where fortunes begin.